Hello, flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today's Monday, August 19th.
Where the heck is the summer gone?
Where has summer gone? It is not summer this week. Okay. What's my feelings about the weather? How was y'all's week? Ours was fairly uneventful.
Except for one little thing, otherwise pretty good.
Fucking neighbors.
At least they had, that was just more random dog got out.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't know if you heard the lady when she came running up, but she's like, I didn't even have the door open. The dog actually punched through the door.
Well, maybe you should do things to make sure that your doggy can't do that if your doggy's going to be a bit aggressive.
By the way she was talking, I don't think they knew the dog could do that.
I mean,
I think that might have been a case of they didn't know the dog could do that, and then the dog did that, now they get to worry about it.
well, worry about it, fix it, make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yep.
I'll let one accident happen. Nobody was injured, our dog wasn't injured, their dog wasn't injured. Their dog got out and came charging. They were very much on top of getting their dog, but you get a one-off with me and a dog like that. Next time, I will call the authorities.
I'm not going to lie, and for those that don't know, I got bit when I was a kid very badly. I'm afraid of dogs. That's why we have Lazy McGentle over here.
Right? That's why I see some other dogs on, like, that are adoptable, and I won't even suggest them because they're just not lazy, gentle dogs. We need a lazy, gentle dog.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I never want to injure another animal, but if it's mine or theirs, if they weren't chasing after the dog, I would have literally grabbed their dog by its collar, thrown it out of my property, and shut the gate behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry if I hurt your dog. I don't want to hurt a dog. That is the gentlest way I can remove a threat from my dog. And if the dog bit me, I'd probably go into fight or flight.
Right.
And that'd definitely be a phone call, because half that dog's head was its mouth.
Well, yeah. You know, it's a pity mix, so.
The number of pity mixes around here terrifying me.
It is ridiculous the number of pit bull mixes that are in this county. And I have nothing against the breed. They're not a breed that I like, that I would personally have a dog of. I have nothing against them because they can be the most gentlest, loving dogs, but there are so many because people breed them and then don't take care of them, and
it's also a fact of a lot of them let their dogs run around and don't bother getting them fixed, and then dog gets out. Next thing you know, you have puppies in 6 months.
Right. I mean,
or 9 months, or however long it is with dogs.
I don't know how long it is with dogs. It's just, you see the pages for the animal shelters, the animal rescues, that's all they have because it's just so many of them.
They're also undesirable, unfortunately. That's the other problem.
Well, they're not necessarily entirely undesirable. There are plenty of people who want them. If you want one, go get one from a shelter.
Yes, no, what I'm saying is, a lot of pit bulls, you can't tell if they're good around toddlers. Because toddlers do things to dogs. It's being a toddler. And if a pit bull bites a toddler, it's a big problem. If a Yorkshire Terrier bites a toddler, it's not as big of a problem.
I mean, my brother has, and don't get me wrong, my brother has a black lab, some sort of bully breed, because you can see it in his face, mix. Is dumber than a box of rocks, is psycho, but it's not really going to hurt you. Like, he's psycho in a way where he will run laps around the house and body slam himself into a wall.
He will not bite you, and if he's running around, like, I don't know who it was. I think it was your dad. He was running around, and his mouth went around his hand, and then he backed up meekly because he realized he put his hand in his mouth.
I have no idea. All I know is I will never forget. We were down in April. We were down at my brother's house, and Bruno, my brother's dog, this dog of my brother's, jumped over because the way their house is, they have like a family room area, their kitchen dining kitchen area. There's no wall. They had a couch that kind of formed a wall, and then their dining room, which was a separate room. The dog jumped off the back of the couch, ran through the kitchen, ran into the dining room, lapped underneath this dining room table, came back through the kitchen, came flying in through, this walking space by the couch, into the family room, jumped up on the love seat Joe was sitting on, slammed himself into the wall, flew off the love seat, went and did it like twice. He did it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, Jesus, crazy. But he was harmless. Like, it's just.
Unfortunately, pit bulls have a bad rap.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't mind owning a pit bull. The problem is that pit bulls have a strong prey drive, and we have a cat.
Well, yeah. Well, greyhounds can have a strong prey drive too. Any dog can have a strong prey drive. It's just the dog dependent.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking about the specific one we got.
We just have to be able to ensure that a dog is cat safe before it is brought into our home. The APL and the pound cannot do that.
Unfortunately.
They don't do that. So it is what it is. My anxiety's hyped up, and I'm a little irritated with the neighbors over it, and I think they need to ensure that their dog is secure, and as long as they do that, I don't really care. And it is what it is. And now we've spent 6 minutes talking about that. Well, not quite 6 minutes, but it's gonna be a busy week, y'all. So that was like our one excitement from the weekend. We kind of had a chill week, which I needed. I'm very busy this week. I had stitching day with EGA on Saturday. That was lovely. We just stitch and chit chat and talk about all kinds of things. We literally talked about all kinds of things. We talked about family drama. We talked about the one lady. Her parents had her mother was like 40, over 40 when she had her. So like she and this lady is older than my parents. So her parents were born before the Great Depression. Her dad was actually born the same year the Wright brothers first took flight. So her dad was very fascinated with airplanes, and as a young man, owned an airplane, like a barnstormer. The old-fashioned barnstormers that they would have stunt guys on. And they flew, him and his brother did some flying, and just the stories she told us that he had told her, and it was cool. And I guess one of my friends, I didn't realize that her dad was my friend's husband's dad. No, my friend's husband was a surprise baby when his parents were in their 40s. So, and we talked about that. We talked about the Royal School of Needlework, and I don't even know how we got on that topic. We talked about EGA had their big national seminar next year in Atlanta this year, just recently, and my one friend who is the editor for the EGA magazine went. EGA's national seminar next year is in Dallas.
Plane. I'll go. We're going on a plane, though.
Well, it's EGA, so you would have to stay in the hotel room while I did EGA stuff.
I don't care. As long as they can bring some video games to my laptop, I'm good.
They kind of rotate it. I think there might be one closer. So eventually there will probably be one closer to home. God, what else? We talked about like everything. We had a good time. It really was quite a good time. So, I mean, did you have anything notable to talk about?
No, just work. I had to write up more stuff and all kinds of insanity just because.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't like to talk a lot about work, mainly because I've actually gotten crap for it at my old job. Someone found this channel and started watching it and gave me crap about everything I said that might have been about work, even though I never mentioned any names.
And like what you actually mentioned that they gave you crap about was stupid. You said somebody was no longer with the company. You didn't say what happened or anything like that. Whatever. They were just looking for an excuse to be assholes.
Yep, so...
And I can say that because he don't work for that company no more.
Yeah, so I told him. But anyway... No, work. And also, the thing I want to talk about, I'm waiting for whips.
Yes. I do have a funny story. If I can find it. There it is. Yesterday at like lunchtime at like noon. It was about noon. I looked at Joe. I got up, I looked at Joe, and I said, I have to go pick something up. He's like, okay, bye. No questions asked. Just, okay, bye.
I was in the middle of something very detail-oriented.
Well, I understand that, but I also find it fantastic that my spouse says, when I say I have to go pick something up, my spouse asks no questions, just says, okay, and trust that I'm doing what I need to do. So I went, I picked up what I needed, what I was picking up. I got home, I walked in, I unpacked what I was getting, and I said, look, moo cow clip. And you said?
I don't remember.
He said, of all the things I expected you to walk back in the house with, a moo cow hair clip is not one of them.
Nope. I actually thought that she was going over to the church, because earlier in that day we had done something with the church, so it's either she got something from somebody that didn't cost a lot of money, because if it's a big purchase, you usually check with me first.
Right.
Or it's something to do with the church stuff, which is none of my flipping business.
Yeah. So I got moo cow hair clip, and this one has strawberries on it. It cost me $2. That's why I didn't actually discuss it with him. Cost me $2 for 2 hair clips. It just, a friend of mine sells jewelry, earrings, pins, necklaces, jewelry type products, some hair stuff on a Facebook group, and
Moo cow hair clip.
And I saw strawberry hair clip, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want that. And then I saw moo cow hair clip, and I was like, I have to get moo cow hair clip because I'm a country girl. There's a stamp set called Cutest. There's a stamp and punch set and Stamp It Up called Cutest Cow. I have to get that. I made his birthday card out of it. I have to get that set because it's just too cute. But it was so funny because I'm like, okay, I'm going somewhere. Of all the things I expected you to walk back in the house with, that wasn't on the list.
Nope! So, can we get the whip so I can explain what I was doing?
Why don't we...
Shout out the commenters.
I gotta flip it.
Flip it.
Flip it real good.
Okay. Thank you, Janet, Teresa, and Lynn.
Thank you for commenting. Thank you for those of you. I know some folks actually have said they watch and they're not able to comment by how they watch, via how they watch, or they just don't. I'm one of those people that sometimes I will watch and I don't have a comment. Or I'm watching in a method where I can't really comment, so I get it.
I get it too. It's just, thank you everybody who was like, yeah, go for it, Joe.
Yes. And everybody was very supportive of Joe's Transformers.
Not quite, but close enough.
Not quite. That's what they look like to me, though. They're mechanized.
They're articulated enough.
Well, yeah. So, why don't we go to Whips? Because you are chomping at the bit.
Well, because I actually have a story I wanted to tell.
Okay.
About how awesome my wife is. I'm looking at her and I'm going, well, I was telling her the different sizes of it, and I'm like, well, I don't want to get this kit because it's too big. And what was your response?
Why?
You were like, well, if it's too big, we can just get shelves.
Oh, yeah, I was like, well, we can get shelves to fit it.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah, the shelves we're getting shelves, like the wall-mounted shelves, that are like individual shelves for them to kind of put them up on the wall around where he sits in the living room so we can make them any height we want.
Well, actually, some of the one I was showing you would actually be a different shelf. Okay. It would need a foot by a foot area because they're huge. These are the little ones, but I finished this.
Yes, this was the one he was in progress on last week.
And I don't know if you will ever be able to see it. Oh, come on, camera.
Hold it still. Hold still. What are we trying to get to show?
One of the stickers. They're too small and the glossy.
Yeah, the stickers aren't showing.
They're very small stickers. Literally, they're so small. I'm using this to put it on because this is too big. And while I'm trying to put these little itty bitty stickers on, she's like, I'm gonna go somewhere, and I'm like, okay, concentrate. Okay. Then all of a sudden, I'm still doing that. She comes back in. She's like, look what I got. I'm like, of all the things,
look how hair clip.
Not what I was expecting. Because I'm just sitting here trying to get this done.
I've become very obsessed with hair clips lately.
Lately.
Well.
But I'm just wanting you to know how appreciative you are of my hobbies and the fact that you're letting me put Gundam figurines in our living room. Comment below if you are married and you would let your husband put random guy stuff like these, like this, in your living room.
Personally, I think that's what my husband's into. He should be allowed to display his hobby just as much as, I mean, you guys can't see, and I don't have any of my stitching in. I don't have any of my stitching where you guys can see it. Well, part of the problem is this wall, buddy, are stone because that's where the chimney stack used to be. That wall, I think, might be part stone. That wall might be part masonry too, because that thing is stuck. And obviously, over his head we have that monstrosity with stuff on top of it. So there's really no walls behind us to put stuff, I guess. But anyways, okay. My whips.
I will say I also had something really fun because I say, hey, honey, I might find a couple of them from one show I want to get. Keep in mind, there are 50 series involving Gundam Plus. From one show, I filled up the screen worth of
I have Christmas and birthday and
other random times.
Get Valentine's Day.
Or just because I want to get one.
Sweetest Day. Or just because we need to get you want to get one.
Yeah.
Day. Excuse me.
Okay, I'm done gushing about my pew pew laser guy robot thing.
Pew pew lasers. Okay, so I started the week working on the Star Touched Meadow Cell December block. I do want to get the 2 blocks I'm working on done so that I can start the other ones. These actually aren't taking all that long, and if they fit something for the weekly or they fit something for the monthly, I am plugging them in there just to give me a chance to get some extra stitches on. Yes, dear?
Of all the vehicles I thought I would see drive down our road, a driving instructor car was not on the bingo card.
Well, I know there's some teenagers back around the corner.
I know, it's just, I figured they would go to the instructor. I mean, is this for them to learn how to do the speed limit? Because if you don't do the speed limit, you're going to flip your car through all the potholes?
No, that's how they do it in this state.
I know, I'm just saying this particular road in general.
Yeah, no, but the driving instructor, when you're taking the actual driving instruction part of driver's ed, and you're actually driving the car, they come pick you up.
I've never had, we had a stupid simulator in my school. It was completely useless. But then again, I wouldn't want children behind the wheel in New Jersey.
Welcome to another episode of Things That You Thought Were Common Until Somebody Told You They Weren't.
And I don't know which one of us is the one that's not common. Because keep in mind, Ohio is a much safer place to drive than New Jersey.
Tell me how your state does. Tell me how you guys do it. Like, even if you've already done it, if you know, like, there is your question.
We got multiple this time.
Wow, okay. Error. All right.
Sorry.
Let me show you the cover photo one more time. Star-touched meadow sal, December block. That is the holly flower block, because this is based on the monthly flower. I probably have stuck the before photo in earlier, but I did 332 stitches on it in here. I am missing one floss from this and one floss from the November one, and Witchelt still hasn't shipped me the flosses. Now, I placed an order a month after I placed the order for those flosses, and all of that stuff has shipped, but that order hasn't shipped. I'm wondering if they forgot about it. I may call Witchelt next week and say, what's going on? I ain't got time this week. So, and yes, I am trying to, if I can fit them into something for the weekly, I will. If not, it's not really the end of the world. These are out of order in the order that I did them. I had a problem today. I sat down before. Well, these are out of order because I sat down to pull my pictures, because I take my pictures off of my Facebook games in order for my before pictures. Everything that, like, you have the event and you make your own post in, I can't find myself in it. I have there's at least 3 games where you have the event, you make your own post in the event for your own, portion of the game. It's not popping up. It was there it popped up last night because last night I did the daily 30 grading for the week. Passed out because I'm so busy this week. So these are going to be a little bit out of order in how I actually worked on them, but it probably doesn't matter. I'm just very confused by the whole Facebook thing because I literally...
It's Facebook?
At one point I have my phone. Like, I'm sitting here with my phone and my laptop going... I'm so confused. So I did pull out Christmas in Blue to stitch on because this was all for my blue stitches.
I'm blue.
I do like this project. It's a lot of blue. Blue is the one color I can handle. Stitch a lot of stitches in this color because I have this project that's all blue. I did, and I actually got a weekly out of it, and I got a monthly out of it. I got the H for the monthly because there's an H in night stitched on here. So this is stitched on a piece of, I think it's a 28 opalescence. My stitches were, so I finished this, I did this, and then I started this in here. Now, and it looks like I have a skull face on there, doesn't it? It kind of does.
Actually, I was going to say it looks like an upside down ghost.
That guy?
Looks like an upside down ghost.
Or a ghost. Well, okay, so bringing your attention over here, as I was coming down this single line here, I noticed I had a problem. For some reason, right in here-ish, there's like a thread that's missing there's a fabric thread that's missing. And I don't know, it goes over to about here. So I'm like, crap. Right? Like, well, what do I do? Because, and I've had numerous people who, for whatever reason, whether they're frogging and they use their scissors and they trim too close, or, you know, whatever, or, like this, that wasn't even the case. It's just something happened with the thread. Sometimes you can pull a thread, you know, one of these threads here out from the side. That's why a lot of people like their thread serged. That's why I am a proponent of, if you give yourself enough margin and tape is what works for you, use tape, because your finisher's going to cut it off. But anyways, here's what I did to fix it. Because sometimes explaining this to people...
You can't even see it.
Sometimes explaining this to people doesn't work. I took a piece of Ada. No, this is a 32 count opalescence, because this is 16 count Ada. Well, it doesn't matter. I just took a piece of Ada and stitched it on there. So I just held it there while I stitched. And that's how I'm fixing it. So it'll have that as support. And you can't see it because it's white. I would probably recommend, if you do that even on a colored piece of fabric, use a white. Unless it's a dark, you know, because it shouldn't show through. But that's my little pro tip of the week, because a lot of people are like, what do you mean just stitch with another piece of fabric behind it? That's exactly what I mean. Take a small chunk of fabric. Honestly, I probably could have used like this, just regular fabric, and it would have worked. Because you're just stabilizing that piece of fabric. You know, Ada or even weave that's the same size, similar size, that's the same size, is going to be a little bit easier to work with because you can match up your holes. I don't even think all my holes match up. What?
Oh, I was going to say, that's a really good reason to keep the scraps.
It is, and it's one of the reasons why I do actually have quite a few of unusable scraps around, because you just never know. Like, I don't even know how that thread got mucked up. But it did. Okay. Do I have, yes I do have it here. So then, I took out, I don't know if it's right here. It is. I thought it was. I pulled out Sampler Book by Erica Michaels. This is the companion finishing guide for Sampler Book. The pages are available for free from Rainbow Gallery. It's charted in Rainbow Gallery Splendor Silk. I'm doing it in my own conversions.
Let me put on my surprise face.
I'm literally, when I change pages, so I pull them out color by color, but the colors by page. So I was on E and F, and I have finished E and F, English stitch and the four-sided stitch. Here's the four-sided stitch on Mr. Fox. The English stitch is the trunk. Though don't ask me what an English stitch actually is, because I couldn't find it. I just did the best I could based on what I saw on the chart. So I finished this page. I took all those colors upstairs. I put them upstairs. I went to start on the next page. That would be G. A, B, C, D, E, F. G and H. Yeah, I had to do the alphabet. Started pulling out my fancy flosses to just grab for this, and realized my fancy flosses were a mess. So all of them came out of the drawer and went onto the floor in front of me. And I sorted them by color. They're now in zip top bags by color. And I pulled out my colors for G and H.
So at what disappoint period was this done?
Tuesday. Last Tuesday afternoon.
Guess I wasn't here. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't here. So it was 160 stitches to finish this part, and then I needed 43 more stitches to finish.
Grab the needle and put it up to the needle minder.
Whoops. Whoopsie. Which was just kind of the corner of the G block.
There we go. I think I got it. Yep. Okay. Oh, God.
So, and sampler book, for those of you who don't know, sampler book, each page of the book is a letter. So you stitch the 2 letters, it'll get finished this way. And then, so you have a page, and then there's a specialty stitch that matches that starts with that letter. So, have I finished any of the, have I FFO'd any of the pages? Absolutely not. Am I going to have to probably make a practice FFO page? Absolutely. I have read the FFOing instructions.
I would recommend like grabbing 3 or 4 pieces of fabric you don't like and making a few pages together. Yes. I want you to die. I want you to die. I want you to die.
Alright, so there's sampler book.
Book.
And then a bit of drama because I could not find this project, and I'm going, I can't find it. Joe did finally find it for me.
By the way, this was a total gender reversal. I walked up to the place she said it should be. Boop, boop, boop. Is this it?
I could not find it for the life of me. I pulled everything out of the trunk twice. I don't know.
Honey, in your defense, there were 3 of the exact same type of bags right there, and I'm pretty sure what you did was one of the bags was actually bigger than that, and I wouldn't be surprised if you grabbed the bigger one and that just kind of got written wrong for the ride.
I'm sure. So I took out Quake the Turtle. Turtle. And I dislike how this shows up. I say this every time I show this. I dislike how this shows up on film. And taking a picture of it helps it none. It did actually look pretty good on Zoom Friday night when I was working on this. So maybe I can work out figuring out how to take a still of it off of that camera. But here we are. This is on a completely random, it's an aquamarine. I actually think it's called Mermaid's Dream is the dye that I used. I assure you, it does not look that funky. It looks so cool on this fabric. With I'm using Weeks Dye Works Bethlehem. So I finished this little bit, this part of the border. Did this part, this border, and I are not friends. And yes, he is holding it upside down in the way I'm stitching it. When I FFO it, I'm going to...
This is how you handed it to me.
I know. Well, when I finish it, so when I hang it, it's going to be facing left because I'm left-handed. I just so happen to be stitching it facing right.
Here, I reject your reality and substitute my... Oh, come on, that was being funny.
That is funny. Well, we could do that. I just so happen to be stitching it facing right. I don't know why. So yeah. So I finished this little bit of this border and then kind of started working on it. This border is killing me, Smalls. It's killing me, Smalls. This was used for a whip that you're stitching in your own colors and on your favorite fabric. This is called for in a DMC solid, like a solid green. I decided to do Bethlehem. I really don't know why. I did the fabric first, this is a 32 even weave, and I absolutely love how this aquamarine turned out. So I had the fabric, and I was deciding what color I wanted it to do, and I happened to get a shipment in from Hoffman's that had a skein of Bethlehem in it. And I held it up against this fabric, and I'm like, that would look really cool. What?
Then you made the mistake of asking me. And I agree with you.
Yes, you did agree with me. Actually, everybody agreed with me. So that's what I went with. So that's literally how it happened. It was just like, that would look kind of cool. Let's just do things crazy, unique. And I have never put it in its own like cloth bag, although I should, because I noticed the fabric is picking up a bit of an odor, probably from me handling it when I'm stitching. And I know I've got a fabric bag that is empty. I make my own bags. If you're new here, I make my own bags. I do sell them.
How do you make your own everything?
I do make my own everything. Okay. Next contestant. What I did on the weekend. I pulled out Summer Band Sampler, the Stitch On Me Sal from earlier in the summer. Hopefully there is a picture of what it's going to look like finished floating over our faces right now. And at some point, floating over our faces, there will be a picture of where I started it. And here's where we are. And yes, my piece of fabric is way bigger than it needs to be. I don't know, folks. Go up.
No, I was just showing the whole thing.
This is a piece of fabric I randomly dyed. I wanted it to be the color of the turtle fabric, but it's just not. So what I did this time was the band of buoys, the band of sailboats, this wave band, and I have started, this is a band of shells. I started this band. The reason there is a gap here is because I have these little flip-flop dangles that I got as part of our Medina Needlework Guild's fall challenge that's due in December. Originally, I was going to stick them in the middle here where this anchor is. There's not enough space. So I shifted it down to in between these two buoys. I took two of the buoys out. That's not quite enough space this way. So I left this middle sailboat off, and I'm going to offset them from each other just a little bit. I'll take it. Just a little bit to make it all fit.
Never told you how creative and wonderful you are with this stuff.
Yes, you have. And thank you, because I was a little stressed out, because at first I was very upset that it didn't fit in the anchors spot, and then I was very upset because it wasn't fitting with the buoys, and then I was like, well, wait, just leave one of the sailboats out. It'll fit with the buoys and the sailboat, and you can offset them a little bit, so it's not so jammed up in there.
Yeah, nobody likes it jammed up in there.
Nope, nobody wants it jammed up. So that's been it's going to be kind of a long floss tube today. So that's been my stitching this week. I know, normally I'm only stitching on like one or two things, but this week I had a few more offerings. That's been my stitching. So, we've done whips. We have no haul. Well, I technically showed you all most of what I bought, which was my hair clippies. I'm a little cow clippy. Oh, Summer Band Sampler was S-E-N-A. Summer Band Sampler. I wanted to eat those popsicles and anchors. Sounds good to me. No haul. So let's go into plans.
Well, I gotta wait until the 1st before I can get my next Gunpla. By the way, making Gundam model kits is called Gunpla. Yes, it's actually what it's called. Don't ask me where the name came from, that's just the name. But I'm waiting until our anniversary on the 1st of September. And I'm just going to have to do Zelda for the challenge for the guild this weekend. Try to get that done.
Yeah, work on that. I am trying to get my guild challenge done. I also have another piece that I need to get done by December. At least that one doesn't have to be FFO'd. The guild challenge piece does.
So what is your plans?
Alright. So, Little House on the Prairie week.
Okay.
Yes. So the first prompt is to stitch on something you can relate to Christmas, family, or music. Our choices are my Ohio State Marching Band piece, obviously, music, Rags to Riches, and Belle, my RTM, Belle, because they're Disney musicals. Chaotic Stupid, because I play D&D with my family. And apparently several of my family members play D&D and I didn't know it. Yo, we need to sync our schedules and have a family campaign, dang it.
They live a good distance away, and I told you they played the last time we went, last summer.
I know. Well, yeah, but we can play online. 5e, online.
With how busy those two, they're theater kids.
Well, yeah, Eric and I are theater kids.
Flatly.
Doesn't Kelly play?
No.
Okay.
She would love it, but only in person because she would literally show up in costume.
She would. My cousin Kelly is
Cosplayer.
a cosplayer, and I adore it. I am here for it. Some of the rest of our family are like, okay, you do you. I'm here for it. If she is around and she asks us to go to a con with her,
yes,
chances are I'm going. I mean, we hang out all the time when she's around. Okay, and then a good tyke because my doggy's my family.
Okay, OSU band. Also fits for family too for a multitude of reasons.
It does fit for family because the OSU band piece that I'm actually stitching on, which I need to finish by December, is for a family member.
Plus, how many members of your family went there?
My dad, his brother, and all three of his sisters.
And half your cousins.
Eric went there. Blake and Andrew went there.
That's about half of them.
No, it's not.
Of that group, I think. I thought more of them went, actually.
No. Yeah, no. Okay. So then, stitch on a whip with a house, a farm, or relates to farming. So the Belle piece has a castle on it, which is a house. It's a big house. The reindeer actually has a house on it. Though that's not originally why I wrote it down on the list. Because there is actually a farm near us that is a reindeer farm. Now, it's a petting zoo type reindeer farm. But it is a reindeer farm. They have reindeers. And then Autumn at Hawker and Hollow, I know, has farms on it.
Belle. Oh, ready for random info Joe knows.
What?
Do you know what the difference between a fortress and a castle is?
Location, location, location.
No.
Okay, what?
Someone lives there. If it is a military installation that is not somebody's house, but it's just a military property where people live in, but none of them own it, it's owned by the military, it's a fortress.
I was going to say, because back in the day, people used to live in fortresses.
Yeah, well, usually what it was is they used the Lord's house as the fort, and that's why castles had the towns build up around them.
Okay. Okay, there you go. The next one is to stitch on a piece that's fall, winter, spring, or has a train on it. OSU band, because football is fall. The reindeer, because it's wintertime. Autumn and Hawk Run Hollow. Okay. This is going to be great. Number 4. Stitch on a whip that you can relate to love, church, or school. OSU band, because people who love Ohio State love Ohio State, and it's practically a religion around here.
And it also just so happens to be a school.
Well, yeah, and it's school. Rags to Riches and Belle, for obvious reasons, they relate to love. Chaotic Stupid, because I love the person that taught me D&D. And then a good type, because I love my dog.
Belle.
Okay.
You know what's really funny?
What?
A lot of times, all hell, Joe knowing way too much about pioneer culture and all this stuff, because it's something to think that fascinated me. normally the school was the church.
Yep.
Because guess what? The way it's built is the exact same for when you have 10 kids. The schoolhouse and the church are built the same way, and the first building they usually built was the church. So until they had the time and energy to build the actual schoolhouse, they did it in the church. And a lot of places actually did it where the schoolhouse was actually like pushed back because the church worked just fine, and they had things like food to worry about.
Yep. And then the fifth prompt is to stitch on your whip of choice and share what your favorite episode is. We have 2 whips going this week, OSU Band and Bell.
You don't have a free pass?
I also have a free pass. There's also a very solid chance with how busy I am this week. Not everything's getting done this week.
I will say, since you can do all but one of them for OSU, if you just want to go ham on OSU, do it. I mean, technically, you can also go ham on Bell for everything.
I am not gonna lie. It's 200, 300 weeks, so 3 prompts with, technically 4 prompts with OSU Band would be 1,200 stitches. I'm not entirely sure.
I can fit number 2 for OSU Band. What did your dad study at OSU?
Farming.
Yeah, that is actually the bachelor's degree her father got at that college.
It's an agricultural degree, really.
But still, it's farming. Your farming father, who ran a farm, got the degree. Your uncle, did he not also get the exact same degree and now runs?
Okay, so my dad, one of my aunts, and yes, my uncle, my dad's brother, all have OSU ag degrees. My dad used his degree to be a farm manager for the Ohio Department of Corrections. My uncle uses his agricultural degree to be superintendent for a golf course. My aunt used her degree. She actually ended up getting a teaching degree also, and she taught, but she works with I think she still is working with the Ohio State Extension Office. Oh, and my dad's brother's son, so my one cousin that went to Ohio State. Nope, there's another one. My one cousin has an ag degree. He uses it for lawn care, running a lawn care business, running a lawn care, like a lawn treatment business. And my other cousin has an OSU ag degree, and he runs a farm. He runs a family farm. So that's 5 people in my family that have agricultural degrees from Ohio State University who all do 5 different things. My dad and my one cousin are kind of similar, but in different capacities. I'm just saying.
I'm the one who said it.
I mean, you did, and you're very right. Ag is like... Agriculture is...
It's Ohio!
Y'all would die without the farmers.
Okay, alright. If you ever want to get bored, look up Columbus, which is where the main campus is for there, right?
Yes.
Look around Columbus. It is green.
Yeah.
Because of cornfields.
When you drive down 71 to Cincinnati, it is cornfield, 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 cornfield. Columbus! Cornfield, cornfield, cornfield. Hello's real sign, cornfield, cornfield, cornfield. Yes, I'm not lying. There is a sign for a church that says hell is real.
Did they put it back up? I know somebody defaced that, didn't they?
It's back up. It is back up.
The fact that people keep paying to get that maintained is hysterical to me.
If it works, it works for them, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, so agriculture is a really big thing in this state. It's in the really big thing in most of the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we are in the Midwest, so.
So, yeah. It literally perfectly ties in. So you literally, if you really, really wanted to, can just put 800 stitches.
1,200.
8 to 1,200 stitches, because it's 2 to 300, right?
Yeah.
You can put 1,200 stitches on OSU, and that way you can get closer to getting it done.
To absolutely everything this week.
Yep.
Guess what Laura's going to try to do.
Okay. So
I honestly don't know if I have. No, we don't have to write it down. I don't know if I actually have 1,200 stitches because I just have the O and the words OSU, I love you. As far as what's full cross, there's not a ton left. There's a lot of backstitch, so it's just going to be how the backstitch counts out.
Well, you know what? Save this one and this one for last, and that way you can switch to it when you run out.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Anything that the Bell project relates to, I can switch to if I run out. And there's also the fact that I may not have time. It is County Fair week, and that means I am making pizza subs down in Wellington all week, except for this morning, because I had a funeral lunch to do today. I'm busy.
Yeah, remind me not to get sick this week, so that way you don't draft me.
Last year someone was not sick, he was just sick of his job, and took a couple days off and ended up coming down and helping us. But it kind of worked out because that's when you got.
I got random email the next day.
You were off and you found a new job. You applied for a new job and were able to interview it like that because you had decided you needed some mental health days from your other job.
Yeah, and they're like, "Can you come in for an in-person one tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like, how are you able to get off work? I'm like, I have a lot of vacation days.
I took some mental health days.
Well, that's how. When you leave your job and your blood pressure goes from concerned to fine in the eyes of your doctor, that's all you need to know.
Yes. All right. I do need to get you off of here because you're going to have to get ready for your stream. So, thank you all so very much for enduring us for almost an hour this week. We're a little squirrely this week. Spiel.
Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, thingy me bobbies, the whole YouTube spiel. And I had a really funny thought.
What?
So, since this is the Slovak Farm, would this be the livestock? We grow the cross stitch, and here's the livestock.
I love you. That's good. That's good. That's good.
I love you too.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Thank you all for joining us this week. We hope you had a good time. We hope you were entertained.
Are you not entertained?
I really hope you were entertained this week. Am I gonna make it to the end?
We're at the end, so bye.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye!